Kazuma Satou is a shy young boy with loner tendencies who lives in a rural area in Japan. He spends most of his time watching anime and is also a massive video games fan. One day, he decides to leave his home to buy a coveted video game. After buying his precious game, he rushed home, ready to play for days. However, on his way, Kazuma realizes that a girl is about to get hit by a truck. When he realizes she's in danger, he rushes to save her and pushes her out of the way. But after saving the girl, he falls into the truck's path, dying like a hero. Arriving in Limbo, or the place after death, he meets the goddess Aqua. Aqua has the appearance of a beautiful young girl with an easygoing and happy personality, and she's also the deity in charge of deciding the fate of people after they die. Kazuma feels unique, thinking that he at least managed to save the girl's life before he died, but to his surprise, Aqua makes fun of him since he died ridiculously. He wasn't killed by a car trying to save someone, but by the shock of thinking that the truck would run him over. To make matters worse for him, Aqua also tells him that it wasn't a truck that would hit the girl, but a simple tractor that had most likely stopped before colliding. Kazuma feels embarrassed, but Aqua, apart from just making fun of him, also offers him some options to redirect a new life. The first one is to reincarnate as another person and start from scratch. She also offers him something known as eternal rest, an option that even she finds dull. Finally, Aqua offers Kazuma the opportunity to start his life in a new RPG-style world in Belzerg. There, Kazuma will have the mission to defeat the Demon King and bring world peace. Within this scenario, Aqua also offers him to have a magical ability or a weapon of choice that allow Kazuma to face the world easily. But, to the goddess's surprise, Kazuma accepts and decides to take her along as his companion on his journey. Once Kazuma and Aqua arrive at Axel, a beginner's village, they decide to join the village guild to become adventurers. Unfortunately, since Kazuma doesn't have the necessary skills yet, he can't become an adventurer. However, he has incredible attributes in both luck and intelligence. On her side, Aqua, thanks to her abilities as a goddess, manages to become a priestess, thus obtaining special skills and healing abilities. Since they were short on money, they both slept in a stable. Both decided to start with basic jobs to earn money, starting as construction workers, miners, and harvesters. Going out to drink with their partners became routine for the duo at night. They lived like this for several days until Kazuma realized that he didn't reincarnate in this world to work as a laborer. He came to have a fascinating adventure and defeat the almighty Demon King. So, with Aqua, he decided to start doing primary missions to level up and achieve his goal. Both carry out the first mission to hunt some giant toads to earn some money and improve their attributes. Aqua attacks one of the toads during the battle, although her attack is useless and the toad ends up eating her. This at least creates a diversion for Kazuma to defeat them and save Aqua. When all the fighting is over, Kazuma realizes that Aqua couldn't defeat even one of the toads during the whole mission. They both decide to put up a poster in the village tavern to get allies to join their team at the end of the day. After a few hours, Kazuma thought of lowering the requirements to enter his team when someone finally appears before them. Megumin is an archmage with explosive magic, one of the most potent magic types. She's also a crimson demon, which gives her incredible strength and advantage for her magic type. Kazuma accepts the archmage, and together with Aqua, they go back to their mission to hunt giant toads. Megumin uses her magical power, managing to make an explosion in the meadow where the toads are, killing one of them. Although Megumin's magic is strong, she cannot use it more than once a day because the explosive magic consumes all of the user's energy in a single attack. After reciting just one spell, the poor archmage is left lying on the ground, unable to move. Kazuma completes the mission by hunting down the toads that had eaten his two teammates. However, he's overwhelmed by what little help the girls provide him. When the mission is complete, Kazuma is divvying the quest money at the tavern when somebody approaches because of his poster and asks him to join the group. Darkness is a reasonably strong and noble high-class paladin, albeit with somewhat clumsy attitude. She tries to convince Kazuma to let her join the group, but Kazuma tries to turn her down, feeling that she won't be much help. And his suspicions turn out to be accurate as he realizes that Darkness, even when possessing unyielding stamina and fighting spirit, cannot hit a target with her sword. Because of this, Kazuma doesn't want her in the group and turns her down, expecting to save himself more trouble. Still, the paladin is very stubborn and she keeps trying to convince Kazuma to accept her in his squad. Kazuma learns from Megumin that he can learn a specific skill if someone teaches him, but it takes a few points to learn these skills. Then, Darkness shows up with Chris, a girl with thief skills willing to teach the first skill to Kazuma in exchange for a beer. Chris teaches Kazuma the basic skills of a thief, and one of the most important ones, steal. This ability has the power to steal an item from his opponent. Chris shows steal to Kazuma by stealing the money he had gotten from his last mission. Kazuma can now add this ability to his repertoire thanks to the demonstration. Upon learning this new ability, he uses it against Chris to steal her underwear, so that she must pay the stolen money to get it back. After a few days, there's an alert for all adventurers to present at the town entrance since they're under attack. The guild offers them a good amount of money to catch the attackers, and our group of heroes gets down to business. Darkness wants to prove to Kazuma that he can be a valuable team member during the mission. However, she can't do much due to her lack of swordsmanship. However, the others are impressed with her resistance when acting as a human shield to defend other warriors. Finally, thanks to the help of Aqua and Megumin, the team protects Axel, which earns them a lot of money as a reward. Kazuma learned another magical skill that any low-level warrior can learn: create water, which consisted of throwing water from the palm of his hands. Kazuma and Megumin approach a castle on the outskirts of town so that she can practice her magic. Unfortunately, by using the explosive magic, Megumin is paralyzed and needs Kazuma to help her get back to the village. Much to Kazuma's annoyance, still, they repeat the dynamic for a few days. Then, one afternoon, the town is on alert again due to the threat of one of the Demon King's emissaries. Beldia, the emissary warrior, had moved into the castle Megumin used to practice her magic, and was upset at the devastating effects of the spell in his new home. Megumin comes out to show her face, hoping that they can defeat the warrior. However, Beldia tries to use one of his curses on Megumin, only for Darkness to get in the way, trying to defend her. Before he goes, he tells Megumin to beg him for forgiveness or Darkness will die in a week. Despite the strength and power of Beldia's curse, Aqua manages to use her priestess powers and remove the curse from Darkness. The group of heroes continues to do quests to improve their skills, a few days before Kazuma finds out that Aqua is in debt and doesn't have enough money to pay. He comes up with a plan and takes her on a mission so that she can get enough to pay off all her debts. Arriving at the place, they find a lake that they must purify. However, the water is full of dangerous crocodiles. Kazuma comes up with a plan to lock Aqua in a cage so that she doesn't suffer any damage from crocodiles and throws her into the water. Thanks to Aqua's water goddess abilities, she clarifies the water, and the plan works perfectly. After the mission, Aqua gets money to pay off some of her debts. While in the village, the group meets another human reincarnated in this world by Aqua. Mitsurugi had a much easier life in the RPG world than Kazuma. He chose a holy relic weapon to defend himself. He demonstrates particular worship of the goddess, going so far as to challenge Kazuma to a duel to protect her from him. Kazuma accepts the fight with Mitsurugi, easily defeating him by using steel on his weapon and hitting him with it. Kazuma then sells the sword back to Mitsurugi at a high price to improve his abilities. 1 week after the curse, Beldia returns because Megumin hadn't gone to his castle to apologize. The emissary thought she had let Darkness die out of pride, not knowing that Aqua had already lifted the curse. Beldia also claims that Megumin is still attacking his castle, which she has been doing with Aqua's help. Annoyed, the warrior decides to attack Axel with an undead army. However, Megumin and Aqua had a strategy to attack him with an explosive spell, managing to defeat his army and weaken him. Learning that the emissary's weakness is water, Kazuma tells Aqua to attack him directly. After hurting him further, Kazuma uses steel to steal his head, and Aqua casts a final spell to defeat him. After the battle, Aqua uses her abilities to revive the fallen warriors. The team celebrates the victory over the Demon King's emissary, feeling closer to achieving their goal of defeating him. After defeating Beldia, the group obtains a lot of money. This unfortunately didn't last long since they destroyed a large part of the town in the battle, which they had to pay. As a consequence, they're again stuck in significant debt. Winter is approaching, and the group has no place to stay, so they accept a mission that no one dared to take. In the beginning, the heroes see the assignment as easy. First, they had to defeat the ice spirits that inhabited a nearby mountain. After a while, the team defeats many of the ghouls, but they soon learn why no one wants to take the quest. Then, a formidable and powerful snow warrior appears to attack the heroes, managing to decapitate Kazuma when he throws himself to protect Darkness from the warrior's attack. Kazuma returns to Limbo upon dying, where he meets the goddess Iris. She tells him that thanks to the fact he suffered so much in this life and died trying to defend someone else, she can offer him a much better life than the previous one. However, it has to be in his original world. He agrees, but is soon affected by the nostalgia of his adventurers with 3 of his somewhat useless friends. Even though it's impossible to revive someone twice, Aqua intimidates Eris into allowing Kazuma to return to the RPG world. Kazuma is somewhat regretful upon returning, but is glad to be with his friends again. Since winter is taking its toll on the group, Kazuma and Aqua decide to look for a skill that will allow them to do higher level quests to earn more money. They go to Wiz, the queen of the undead. Wiz teaches Kazuma the ability to steal life energy from living things, using Aqua as an example. They then find out that Wiz is one of the 9 leaders of the Demon King. But the heroes don't attack her because she's just the one keeping the protective barrier on the Demon King's palace active, but not a real threat. When they meet up at Wiz's shop, the team is presented with the perfect opportunity to spend the winter. A client came with a mission to exorcise a house, and as a reward, they could stay in it until the end of winter. Since Aqua has the gift of exorcising spirits as a priestess, the team doesn't hesitate and accepts the mission. Through some investigation, they discover that the ghosts had been haunting that house thanks to Wiz conjuring them up in a nearby graveyard. In the end, Aqua seals the cemetery, and they manage to exorcise the ghosts. After finishing the mission, they claim the reward and get to keep the house to spend the winter. The heroes had it all: a house to stay in, good food, and a considerable improvement in their abilities. But this was only the calm before the storm, since a potent threat was about to arrive at the beginner's village not far away. Destroyer, a giant fortress that walks on the plains of the kingdom, is looming towards Axel. The town enters a state of emergency, giving notice to all of the heroes and adventurers. Outside, everyone prepares barricades and comes up with a plan to stop Destroyer. When Destroyer is nearby, Aqua attacks him with her goddess abilities to destroy the protective barrier around it. Once exposed, Megumin and Wiz launch a double attack of explosive magic and stop it momentarily. However, a self-destruct mechanism inside the fortress will destroy Axel if it's not removed soon. After the group of heroes enters Destroyer, they realize that the only way to get him away is to teleport him. However, the only one who can do this is Wiz, and she doesn't have enough magic after the explosive attack. Kazuma decides to give her some of his life energy so that she can cast the spell and save Axel. Before using her magic, Wiz warns them that it's uncertain where the self-destruction mechanism will appear. Thanks to his luck, Kazuma assures her that he'll take responsibility and nothing terrible will happen. When Wiz transports the device, everything seems under control. Still, the fortress begins to heat up uncontrollably, which could set the entire village on fire if not stopped. Kazuma gives his remaining energy to Megumin for the Archmage to destroy the fortress once and for all. After destroying Destructor, some knights from the capital reach Axel looking for Kazuma. He thought it was to reward him for his heroism, but it turns out to be the opposite. The knights come to arrest him since the core of the fortress destroyed the house of one of the most influential people in all of Belzerg. With this, the adventurers of Kazuma and his group have only just begun. And that was KonoSuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World, Season 1 recap. If you enjoyed this recap, remember to hit that sub, click the like button, and comment down below to let me know what you think of the series. I'll see you on the next video.